What's up, guys? Crazy story. Crazy situation right now happening. Saying at least 2 firefighters killed. This is crazy, man. What in the heck was going on today? Sorry. What's up, man? I just walked in. I'm hearing all this crazy stuff that for hours people have been tagging me. Mel, where are you? What's going on? I've been really busy today. I wasn't at the house. So I'm sorry about that, but I see all this going on, so we got to get into it. Thank you guys for coming. They're saying somebody ambushed firefighters. How sick is that? How cowardly is that with setting up a fire, luring some firefighters out and shooting them? Some people have even said, I've seen speculation, I've seen a lot of things popping up on X. Some people think it's Travis Decker. Okay, so let's jump on. Let's check it out. See what's going on with this press conference too. Dispatch audio. Okay. Let's check out the presser because I missed this part here. It was a press conference. Some dispatch order we're going to get into as well.
It's approximately 4:35. Today's June the 29th. Everybody okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay, my name is Robert Norris. I am the Sheriff of Kootenai County. This information is very preliminary and is subject to change. We want to give you and the public as much information as quickly as possible. So at approximately 1:21 p.m. this afternoon, we received reports of a fire on the east side of Canfield Mountain. Fire assets responded to the scene, and at approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon, it was reported that firefighters were receiving shots fired at them.
Wow.
We now have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation. We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak.
Wow.
This is an active situation. We have multiple agencies that are on scene from local and federal authorities, and we are prepared to neutralize this suspect who is currently actively shooting at public safety personnel. We are prepared to neutralize.
Maybe we should do a poll. What do you guys think? You think Travis Decker? I don't know. That's the guy that killed his 3 daughters. If for anybody that missed that story, he's been out on the run, on the loose. Do you think any potential could be him, or hell nah, or yes, maybe yes?
Neutralize this suspect as quickly as possible. And that's really all that we know as of right now. We don't know who the suspects are. We don't know how many there are. So I know that it's very, very, very early, and I don't think that any questions would yield anything. But Chief, do you have anything? Was I accurate in what we were reporting?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a couple of questions, but
70% say
you
no
this.
so far.
very, very preliminary, and I'm not so sure we're going to have any additional information.
Part of original KXOY, the 2 deaths, are they fighter personnel that have died?
We know that there's 2 deaths, and we believe that they are, yes.
Have they been taken off of the mountain? Are they...
Yeah, no, we're still in that process.
Ian Brown, Crime 2. You mentioned that there were multiple people that have been shot. Do you have an exact number at
No.
the moment?
Nope,
Okay.
we do not.
Alex Duggan with the spokesman. How are you going about evacuating people from the mountain or getting personnel out of there who are being shot at? I mean, what does that process look like?
Right now, we're developing a plan to be able to suppress these individuals' firefighting capability. And when we get that under control, when we have an opportunity to suppress that, then we will continue our removing of people who are on the mountain, who are on for a hike, or public safety personnel, or people who live on the backside of the mountain.
Do we
Yes.
have any indication of what type of firearms are being used in this from the suspect?
Well, it appears that modern-day sporting rifles are being used. It appears that high-powered rifles are being used. Yes.
How many acres is this fire?
I don't know.
There's some snipers out there.
Do we know about how many minutes after shots were fired when fire crews arrived?
Well, we got the first call at 1:21, and we have reports that they were taking shots at about 2 o'clock.
Scanner said earlier that they started the fire and then called 911 and waited for the FD.
Damn, called 911.
Sleeper cell or domestic terror?
Ooh,
Crazy times
good
unamused.
question. Good question. Too much sauce. Thank you for the 10. Yeah, is this the sleeper cell thing that they were talking about?
The firefighters arrived on scene, but we can get you that information.
Santa's
at the
out
next
there
briefing
live?
if you'd
Really?
like.
How many engines were on scene when shots were fired? Do you know that? 3?
17?
Thank you.
And just to be clear, the people who responded, they were wildland firefighters or they were local firefighters fighting a wildland firefighter?
City of Coeur d'Alene and Coeur Fire Rescue.
So shot.
Yes,
When
sir.
the shots were fired, were they at an
It's not low.
accelerated rate or was it a single shot?
Oh no, we're taking rapid fire up there.
Wow.
In the back.
You keep referring to individuals. Are you referring to the casualties or like the amount of suspects you believe to be?
Well, we don't know how many suspects are up there, and we don't know how many casualties that there are. Yeah, I suspect we'll
Really?
have people coming forward that maybe are stuck up there that drove themselves to the hospital, but I suspect that would likely be the case.
Do we have confirmation that there are people stuck up there?
People are still coming off the mountain, so it would only be safe to assume that the mountain is not clear.
As of right now, is there an active threat to the
Absolutely,
community?
absolutely there is.
Okay. Has
Yeah.
there been a shelter-in-place order put forth?
Yes, there has, and I would encourage all of you to tell people to stay away from the area. Do not come to the area. Stay away from the area. This is going to be, if these individuals are not neutralized quickly, this is going to be likely a multi-day operation.
Here's a question. So is the suspect in a home up there? Are they do we have an indication of where they might be on the mountain?
Yeah, we don't believe that they're in a home up there at this time.
So they're just kind of out in the open firing?
Well, they're heavy brush, well prepared, so yeah, they're blending in with their surroundings.
Sheriff Norris?
Go ahead.
Did you mention that the person that called it in is most likely the shooter?
No,
Okay.
no, we didn't say that. We said the first call was at 1:21 on a fire, and then we started receiving over our radio that the firefighters were receiving shots fired from the mountain.
Sheriff Norris, has anything happened like this before? And if so, do you think you and other law enforcement entities will be more aware going forward?
You know, this is an interesting dynamic. This, you know, we have seen some of these things in a urban
Stickies, true.
environment where firefighters were in a urban setting, putting out firefighters during civil disobedience, getting shot at. I've seen that. I can't say that I've seen it in a rural setting myself, but I have seen it in an urban setting frequently where firefighters do get shot at in civil unrest, yes.
So do we know if there's one or two shooters?
We don't know if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah. We don't know.
Wow. Wow,
So
there's
the
not
fire-
much known.
Fire itself, firefighting efforts, is it contained? Is it still spreading? What does that look like?
Well, it's gonna keep burning because we can't put a lot of resources on there right now. But Chief, if
No, we won't put any resources
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, no, forget the fire for now, yeah.
Do we have like a risk of wildfire? Say, is it high winds? Is that going to fuel the fire or anything, or is it?
We're at a high state right now in wildland, so it'll calm down as the evening progresses, but then it'll pick back up tomorrow.
Thank you.
And hopefully this is neutralized by then.
Thank you.
Sheriff Norris, how are you feeling about this overall from when you first got the call to just now from what you've learned?
you know what, it's going to be the tough next couple hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that somebody has a clear shot and is able to neutralize, because they are not at this point in time showing any evidence of wanting to surrender. So as soon as somebody has a clear shot, I encourage them to take that shot and neutralize the threat.
I've seen several life flight helicopters coming in and out. Are there any other air resources that are being used at the moment?
Oh yeah, we have our Emergency Operations Bureau that is containing assets, and whenever a situation goes beyond the local resources, which this has, like I said, we have other counties that are here, we have federal authorities that are here, and we will neutralize this threat. So.
And sorry, I know we've touched on this with the suspects. We know there is at least one, but you said possibly others. Is it coming from multiple different locations that bullets are coming from that might indicate that
Yes.
it is
Oh, yeah.
one suspect?
Yep.
So it's coming from not just one.
Yeah, it's what the officers and deputies are reporting up on the mountain right now.
Okay, so a really wild situation. Thank you guys for coming. I came on late. I was doing a bunch of stuff today. And so I wanted to start out with the press conference. I'm sure a lot of you probably saw that. Maybe you didn't. So I figured we can kind of start fresh. I want to listen a little bit to the broadcast, the live radio feed. Let's listen into a little bit of that. And I'm going to see what other information I can pull up. Oh, there's a live feed too. Somebody out there. Let me check out the live feed first before we do the broadcast.
Maybe 2.5, 3 hours more of light. And you have a lot of people who are hiking, riding dirt bikes that are in the campgrounds that are caught in the middle of this. And it's also 85 degrees right now. So we're worried. If those people are saved. Okay, hold on. I want to go back to that comment. 20 likes. See if you can pin comments. Okay, so I'm going to hold my finger over this. I can mark you as important. I can reply to you now.
So it's live out there. I guess let's listen a little bit to the... Let's see, hold on. Idaho. Is it the sleeper cells?
Comment settings. Filters on. Allow comments. Choose how long. Mute rules. See, it does not show me where to pin something. I can do invite.
Okay. All right. Let's listen a little bit to that. I'm curious with the radio broadcast. Let's see if there's anything. Guess I need to log in.
Go ahead. Med 53 will be transporting 1 to Kootenai Health. Also, engine 524 will be also going to Kootenai Health to retrieve personnel.
Copy. Governor Walz and President Biden.
Spokane Valley, fire engine 4 and engine 3 from Central. You've been cleared and you can return. Thank you.
Engine 3, copy.
Central Valley
Sheriff's Department, the police department up top of
the Valley Engine 4 and Valley Engine 3 can return to Spokane Valley. The other two are being requested to stay for now.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see what they got here. Some feed here. Let me just pull this up for now. Oh, we gotta listen to the radio thing too. Let's listen here real quick first. I was sent this broadcast from earlier.
Central BC 5, Central BC 5. BC 5 up 6. Someone enforcement right now. There's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC 3's down, BC 1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here. 551, 10 or 14 up here. Stop. Get out of the way. 10 or 14. Engine push 551. Do not come up here.
51 copies. Remaining staging. Central from 551.
551.
You get an ETA on life flight, please. What? You're busy. You see what life flight has to offer, go and get it started. Also, if you can do enact the MPI for the county, please.
Sorry, I couldn't copy. I was copying BC.
Is that the upper parking lot? Is that upper parking lot? Up on the dirt parking lot. We need law enforcement up here immediately. Law enforcement up here immediately.
Copy upper parking lot. Immediately out law enforcement.
Yeah, another Coeur d'Alene firefighter down. Needs help immediately. We need law enforcement immediately.
I copy another firefighter down. Continuing law enforcement. I copy. 2 battalion chiefs. 1 off. 1 firefighter down.
As both, I'm down. Both battalion chiefs are responsible. As both down.
I copy. You can move. What's your location exactly?
We're all at the upper parking lot. Please, law enforcement, as soon as possible, get law enforcement up to the upper parking lot, the dirt parking lot.
I'm not having any response from the 2 battalion chiefs. They're above me inside the rig. I need help. I don't see anybody around.
Vehicle.
Then immediately up here, we've got 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs, gunshot wounds, multiple gunshot wounds. 2 Coeur d'Alene firefighters are down.
I copy. 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs. Law enforcement's getting there as quickly as they can.
Law enforcement, get up here. We could possibly get the 2 wounded out. I'm pinned down behind Battalion 1's rig. It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
I copy. Do you want my flight to launch?
100% sure where they would land. I think they need to be prepared to launch.
Yeah, they're prepared to launch.
Go 107. Start dispatching 4 ambulances.
Wow, that's crazy. Hectic situation. They're saying that supposedly now DHS air assets being flown over Idaho scene where the search for the active shooter continues. I'm going to play that video. But also some other person here claimed, they said that a Black Hawk chopper appears to be heading towards the active shooting scene. All right.
In that area needs to be. Well, people in that area need to be very careful because the sheriff has also said that if anybody gets a clear shot at the shooter or shooters, that they should take them out. And this is going to make it very difficult for law enforcement to try to determine who is in their sights. Maybe there's some innocent people, and they certainly don't want to take innocent individuals out. But this is a very fluid, active situation there in the Coeur, Idaho area. And by the way, Molly, I've been in that area. This is right around the Canfield Mountain area there. Well,
wow. So shooter on the loose, sniper. What the heck is going on? Let me see. Listen to this lady that's out there right now. See if she has anything to say.
You guys have to remember, we were just on that sidewalk when we first started the live, and it was beating the heck out of the phone and myself, and we were only standing there for 20 minutes. So just imagine being next to that brush fire and also being in tactical gear. So we need to thank those that are there.
Tijo said the cop passed away, the Milwaukee cop that we covered the other day, that they revived him. They got a pulse back. Apparently, they're saying he passed away.
Have been confirmed deceased.
4 people deceased. Let me see if I can confirm that. Well, okay, she's saying 4 people now.
Thank you, Shayla. Well, they are staging and they are getting prepared, so they have definitely brought a lot of resources in. And as long as they can keep an eye on the fire itself while working to contain the area and secure it around it, then they can rush in and get that fire. But if they're so focused on that fire, the other people could be in danger. Because you remember, we have a campground, hikers, private homes. This is summer. There's people out there. We're talking about Sunday. Everyone's out for their activities. So I've gone to a few different places for a source. So if you do update something, please put where your source is from. Thank you for the follow. Yes, we are in a completely different state. We can see where that black smoke is. So
the black smoke,
you can
guys.
see that the fire is shifting back to the right.
That's the fire that was set by the perpetrator to lure firefighters.
Honestly, so many people are going to say Decker. I'm just not reading the comments. So I wouldn't get too aggravated. Just let them kind of filter the Decker word out till they realize it's not Decker. Yes, this is North Idaho.
There's a closer picture of the fire right there that was started to lure firefighters in order to ambush them, shoot and kill.
So state line is to the west behind us, and we are facing the east towards Coeur d'Alene. I do appreciate the one person who helped me correct my direction there as I was looking at comments and responding. I'm not originally from Idaho. I actually moved from Washington State to Idaho, and I've lived in Utah and Texas. I've traveled around a lot. But we respectfully came to Idaho because we knew it was a place where we would belong and fit in for a lot of reasons. Thank you, Mustang. Not related to Travis Decker case. Thank you for adding the keyword. You guys are amazing moderators. Is this a Walmart in Hayden or Post Falls? Where did you see that Nate sells? Where was your source? Yes, in North Idaho. Yes, this is the situation in Idaho. Yes. We left the valley for a lot of reasons that made us feel more home and more safe here. This incident may have happened, but that doesn't define where we live. I have not seen any updates Nate did make a statement in here, but we're asking where he saw it. Someone who just wrote that on the North Idaho Facebook post with the incident.
Okay, so the whole thing with 4 fatalities, supposedly, law enforcement sources have confirmed there are 4 fatalities with 2 serious injuries at the time. I'm going to have to see where else. There's a random tweet from somebody. Okay, Spokane News. Okay, that looks like Facebook. Okay. Spokane News reports 4 people are dead. 3 firefighters and 1 deputy. Okay, let me find the source of that page. Spokane News. So multiple people shot in ambush. They have not gotten this guy yet. Spokane News. Yeah, they seem legit. Mm-hmm. Where do they post 4 people though? Trying to see their original post.
I think Fox News is behind on their responses. We're confirmed at this time, unknown amount of injured. That's correct. That's what we know. We have no unknown amount of injured people. There's a picture on X of the suspect. Can anybody confirm those things?
Oh, they have a picture. They don't know who it is. They haven't caught him.
I hope that your friends are safe, hamster. Thank you, Miss Pants. Because someone else said that North Idaho News had a post, and now we're saying there may be a picture of a shooter. Okay, someone is saying it's the suspect. I think a lot of people have their suspicions, but until they have confirmations, we're not really gonna know exactly who, why, what, when, how, where, and how. Go on X and search Idaho ambush, and you'll find the post of a suspect. See, and there were some people who were assuming it was a disgruntled person they've seen in the area over the years that nobody did anything about as well, who felt that, you know, he owned a lot of the area up there and caused issues for people. So that was some of the first comments I was seeing when I was on North Idaho News. And those are all speculations based on interactions locally. But we really don't have the full picture yet. I don't think it's gonna get dark till around 9. So it's 10 to 7 right now. So we got about another 2.5 hours, guys.
Till night, till dark.
So they're not touching the fire right now. That's why we're gonna see a lot of this shifting smoke, and it's gonna kind of, based on the heat and the signature of what you guys are seeing, it's gonna shift. We do not know.
Oops. Messed it up.
And get to anybody who needs any assistance. We need to remember it's 85 degrees right now. And there's hikers out there, there's people on bikes, there's private homes, medical needs, even separate from this incident, and combine all that, and there's a lot of needs out there, including first responders who are also out there in tactical gear in the heat.
Idaho, brother.
So we want to make sure that we stay out of their way. Okay, was that the update about an hour and 20-ish minutes ago that they were still taking fire? This is in North Idaho. They do not have a full number of the casualties. We just know that there's 2 confirmed deceased with up to at least 4 deceased and 1 in surgery. This is the Idaho incident.
Some people thinking sleeper cell. Have they been activated?
I know Ms. Pants was confirming and verifying a bunch of updates here just to see if we could find the same information. She's been a great help with that.
So somebody pointed out an old post.
Thank you, Idaho gal.
On X for Idaho, Cordillon. How do you say that shit? Cordillon. Cologne.
When we get to knowing, when they put the, alert out, we will listen to the news conference.
Okay, so this was old arrest in Coeur d'Alene. FBI makes arrest in terrorist plot against churches in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. That was in 2024. Could it be a sleeper cell working? Or is it just somebody disgruntled? Damn. Heavy police units arriving, breaking. You gotta bring in the truck. Bring in the big toys. Sniper targeted firefighters. Sniper. Coward. 2 heavy police units arriving at the scene. Or an ambush.
Sure what the other updates will be. Exactly. The birds are pretty. There's such a variety here. They're so awesome to watch in the morning.
They're saying it's a Black Hawk on the way.
Yes, Miss Pants, thank you. The brush fire was the initial call.
Drop a bomb on him. I say drop a bomb on the guy.
Well, arriving on scene, and then they were pinned down, and the police officers went in to aid them, and were caught in a gunfight. And then they had to pull back from the fire. And the rest has been the updates that we've been giving. Thank you. Yes, please do put your prayers out there for those families. The temperature is about 85 degrees right now, so it is quite hot. That's why we're standing back in the shade.
Ooh, let's take a look at this. Yeah, everybody's watching this.
So Boise is about 6.5 hours away from us. I've not seen anything, whether they've gotten the shooter, but there's different reports of possibly people being held at gunpoint at Walmart. Someone says there's a suspected picture of the shooter on X, but we haven't officially seen any other confirmations of that. This is in North Idaho and Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene. Cordyceps.
Idaho Tribune said the deceased can't be pulled out due to shooting. Yes, they are currently working on clearing the scene. They have recovered some of the first responders. There's life flight on standby. There's other airplanes on standby at the local airport. They have taken a few responders out and they've been taken to the hospital. No, I could not. The most that alerted us to anything was you can see how the mountain line is in view from my house. So whenever there's a brush fire or something going on, we can see that. So the most we were alerted to was the start of that as it was occurring, and then the reports that it turned into an ambush. Honestly, I'd hope not, but this is that situation right now. The scene is very much still active. And
It's going
until the
down.
sun shifts, they are in a predicament with a lot of heat at them. It's 85 degrees right now. This is North Idaho. 25 minutes from that area. You guys are zoomed in so that you can see
check out
the distance of get the concept of the fire right now. We are safe, thank you. We hope all those that are in shelter in place right now are safe. They don't know who is shooting Piper. They just know it's one or more shooters. They have an idea of what rifles they were using, or rifle. Yes, there is quite a few people listening to the scanner app right now. The last time I checked, it was at 10,000 plus people on one of them. You're welcome, Josie. It is very terrible. So far, what we've seen is that the fire has stayed in its vicinity and we haven't seen anything new going on as they're working on clearing the area as it is an active situation. We're not in any imminent danger where we're at to need to be carrying at the moment.
Y'all
No.
carrying? Y'all better be carrying.
This is not Travis Decker. Can everyone take a moment to thank all our mods for helping with the chats? So the press address is on now. So they decided to do it earlier. Let's see if I can find it.
So some people are saying or speculating terrorist cell. Some people think maybe sleeper cell. I don't know. So that whole 2024 incident that I mentioned, and thank you for the super chats, by the way. I appreciate it. Is it popping up on the screen? Let me see here. News and preps. Thank you for the 10. I'm a responder from CDA to MRAPS. Pulled out because of fire. This is North Idaho, likely a neo-Nazi group. Thank you for the super chat.
Where are you seeing
Dancing
the press
Israel
release
9/11. Oh
posted
God,
on?
more likely a Jew than neo-Nazi. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Oh God, where we at with the chat?
NBC is live.
Oh really? Okay, let's check it out. Let's check out what NBC is saying. I want to pull up something else too, but let's see. Oh, what's this?
Exhaustion. The jury in the Diddy trial set to get the case tomorrow. What to watch for with...
They ain't talking about nothing. Everybody's focused on the big, beautiful bill.
Yes, they did go towards Bumblebee Campground because that is on the back side of the fire that you're looking at towards I-90 that wraps around to 4th of July Pass. All the news channels are saying two. They think it's one or more shooters. Fox News said, yeah, see, we're not going to talk about sleeper cells and stuff because this is actually a pretty serious incident. So we're not going to be going into some crazy theories when we know so many people have actually lost their life at this moment.
I mean, sleeper cells is a thing. I wonder why she's just shutting it down. But it's kind of interesting because Laura Loomer, we're talking about this 2024 thing. The spokesman review. Teen with Islamic State ties accused of planning attack on Coeur d'Alene churches claims he was self-radicalized. So he say he radicalized himself. That was 2024 in that same area. I don't know what it is.
How am I on that YouTube, guys? Yes, North Idaho is a very safe place. There was a brush fire set as an intentional ambush on law enforcement. He's live here too, I think.
Oh no, they're using my live. Oh. They've deputized all of Idaho. Take the shot. Yeah, if you have one of the shooter in Boise, Idaho, yeah, we just heard that. They said if anybody has a clear shot of the suspect to take it. Take the shot. Wild, man. Pretty wild situation. On the loose, on the run. They're bringing out some choppers over there. I don't know what kind of... What's that right there? United States Sheriff's Office. Search him. Serious search. They talk about me. Oh well. Just some depressed dude? Maybe. Go to Alene.
Central, can you show 524 out of duty? Copy 524 at station, is that correct?
You're dead.
Copy 524 at Coeur.
Oh, there was a plane crash too. Ooh, jeez. 6 dead after plane crashes in the backyard of Alene Township. Total of 9 firefighters. It said this. I don't know. This person here is claiming a total of 9 firefighters and 2 cops have been shot. KXLY reporting confirmed 3 dead. Let's see if we can check that out. KXLY. IMC.
Medical call F5 Adam.
The Massachusetts narcs furiously at work. They watch everything I do, man. They're the biggest fans of the channel. So yeah, let me see if I can confirm this. KXLY. KXLY. Well, I'm looking at KXLY right now. They said we are actively... Oh, look, here's... well, this is a bit of video from earlier. We're actively taking sniper fire.
They're still continuing to monitor breaking news out of North Idaho. It's been about 4 hours since the first gunshots were fired in what's been an ambush on firefighters. Dozens and dozens of police have arrived at the scene here. Just about an hour ago, 2 hours ago now, perhaps, Sheriff Bob Norris from the Coeur County Sheriff's Office addressed the media and the public to showcase what's going on there.
We now have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a...
Medic 34, engine 521, Bravo Trauma, 9711 North Ptarmigan Drive, Ops 2. Medic 34, engine 521, Bravo Trauma, 9711 North Ptarmigan, Ops 2.
Sniper fire.
So the pressure already.
As you can just see here from this video taken earlier, the massive response from police, multiple agencies all across the state, the FBI arriving on the scene. We'll send things back out to Hunter Bertram, who is live at the scene, who's seen a number of resources being deployed here, being used as this situation continues to unfold. Hunter, what can you show us out there? I know we saw helicopters flying up above earlier on today.
Yeah, Jordan, you say helicopters, and we were actually in an area very close to here, just a little bit in a better vantage point of the command center. They had to move us. They're expecting more helicopters to come to the scene. I know they had said earlier in that press conference that they had the sheriff's office helicopter up in the air, far up in the air, assessing the situation. And actually, we can take a look over in the distance. Still a lot of law enforcement. A mobile lab has actually been set up. A crime-type facility has just now arrived. You can actually take a closer look.
I don't know. This person just posted and said 11 firefighters have been shot in a standoff in Idaho. Nick Sorter posted this. Per Fox. All right, where are they getting this? Let's see, 11 firefighters. Let's see if we can find this.
Look farther off in the distance of what's going on. You can see there's multiple vehicles that typically wouldn't be responding to any just everyday incident that would be happening in the city.
Central from 524.
What's going on?
Engine 524. You can show 544 clear. Returning to Hayden. Engine 524 clear.
Yeah, I don't know where he's getting 11 from. I haven't seen that. He said per Fox.
And the seriousness and the timely aspect of everything unfolding. They have so many agencies from across the inland northwest, across the region, across the state that have been responding here and that are coming up with a tactical plan on how to take out this shooter. As they said, they're going to take the shot if possible, and also how to get this wildfire under control on Canfield Mountain. You can't really see the smoke anymore pluming from it. However, you can still definitely smell the smoke from that wildfire that they say they're going to have to let burn because they can't get resources on it while it's such a dangerous situation for everyone involved. Jordan?
Right, certainly not an everyday situation. Again, that fire believed to be intentionally started for these gunmen to ambush the fire crews responding. Again, no evidence of these gunmen wanting to surrender. As you mentioned there, Hunter, if they have that shot, they should take it. I don't know if you're able to show us more of the scene there. That massive police response still there. I know it was very walled off.
Yeah, I'll have my photographer Dexter actually just pan a little bit up and down the street right here. That's the entrance to Cherry Hill Dog Park. We're actually standing in the dog park right here. You can see these are all law enforcement vehicles. They might look like normal vehicles, but these are undercover, different agencies that have responded from across
you see the smoke?
And we can actually pan to the right, and it spans basically this whole area and across this whole park. This whole parking area is basically full with law enforcement from just about every agency you can imagine here in the state. It's a little hard to see the command post.
Central, EMS 81 to the hospital. EMS 81 to Goodies.
Crazy. How long until they get caught? If it's one of them, or is it one shooter, multiple shooters? Are they on the run now? They scrambling, running. Now knowing that they're being sought after.
On the phone now, Mark Lathrop. He is in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho right now, and was an eyewitness to this unfolding. Mark, I really appreciate you joining us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Mark, tell me a little bit more, and I understand what a stressful and surreal experience this must be tonight. Tell me a little bit about where you are and what you've seen today.
Yeah, so my house is about a block away from what we call Canfield Mountain and a very popular hiking trail and ORV trail, which I think the incident is actually at the ORV trail. It's very wooded. It's very dry, which makes the fire concerning since they can't fight it. There's multiple helicopters overhead, and there's sniper teams set up every block here watching the hill in case the suspects come this way.
Yeah, it must be a very scary situation as well. We're looking at stills that are showing smoke in the air. We didn't really understand the full extent that, of course, firefighters, once they were fired upon, and we know at least 2 people are dead so far. We still don't have a total number of casualties coming out of that. That they were not able to complete fighting the fire that now appears to be intentionally set. Is a fire still burning as far as you can see right now?
Yep, the fire has not changed. The wind is pretty light, luckily, so but it is blowing towards us. But it hasn't changed in size since probably 2 p.m. our time.
Okay, and what does it look like to you?
It's burning white, so I can tell that they basically haven't been able to touch it. And obviously, these are sheriff helicopters overhead, so these are not fire assets at all.
What concerns you the most right now?
The safety of our first responders.
Yeah, Mark, what was going through your mind when you first heard these reports that firefighters were showing up to do their jobs? They were responding to a fire call. This is I grew up in California. We worry about wildfires. They were just responding to try to put out a fire in dry conditions, and there are 2 people who are dead.
It's unspeakable evil. I don't think I can touch on it more than that.
Yeah. What are you seeing in terms of actual presence? We understand that there are some very brave souls, some law enforcement, who are actively under fire, under sniper fire right now. They don't know if it's one suspect or multiple suspects on that mountain. Can you hear or see any of that activity?
We cannot. We are one ridge basically removed from the fire, and I would expect the suspects are close to the fire, so we can't hear shots at this point. And the teams that are set up, look pretty relaxed. So I don't think that we're actually close. We feel pretty safe. My neighbors are out watching the fire, so since they can't fight it, that's just kind of what we're monitoring.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And can you help explain? I mean, you're very familiar with this terrain in this area. We understand that law enforcement is having a tremendously difficult time in neutralizing the suspect or suspects. They've been trying to for some time now, and now the very latest we're hearing is they say this could be a multi-day operation. Can you help us understand why it would be so difficult to neutralize a sniper out there in the area?
It is pretty steep, a lot of switchbacks, and there's a trail system and road system that goes back for 30 to 50 miles. So there is just a lot of places for them to go and for them to search. So I mean, it's not a great situation.
Yeah. Has anything like this ever happened in your community? Can you tell me a little bit about the community where you live?
It's a very quiet neighborhood. Even now, when people are riding their bikes around, I think just because nobody's used to a situation like this. All their neighbors are pretty close to each other. It's a pretty close-knit community. Right now I'm just concerned with these are firefighters that were fired upon from the station down the street.
Can you show 524 out of service for a detail? Agent out of correction, agent 524 out of service detail.
So they're saying, so I'm trying to find out where people are getting the 11 firefighters shot. Say 11 firefighters shot, 2 of them died. Let's see. Oh, here, hold on.
Idaho, as you look at
Let's listen here.
Shooter situation developing in Idaho. As you look at your screen right now, multiple firefighters have been ambushed and shot while responding to a brush fire in the city of Coeur. Reports say multiple people have been injured. Police are asking people to avoid this area, and a press conference is scheduled for later this hour. We will bring you any new updates.
Multiple firefighters were ambushed today. Information is breaking, but it appears at least 9 firefighters have been shot and 2 killed. Wow, okay.
You tonight, Mark?
It's just a little surreal.
I bet. Are you getting ready to evacuate? Have you heard anything about whether or not you'll need to leave?
Actually, we didn't even get the shelter-in-place order from a source other than a Facebook post, and so we're under that order now. And I'm thinking if it gets dark, then we may be asked to leave. But again, we are one ridge away from where the activity is taking place. So
and I can see the video that you actually sent to us. We can see that white smoke rising over the ridge there. We appreciate you sending that in. And of course, the presence in the sky as well. Mark, I know this is the beginning of a potentially very long night. I'm wishing you all the best.
Yeah, man, when it gets darker, I wonder if that's going to make things harder for them or is it going to make it better? Chopper is flying around, helicopter. Live right now. That's the sheriff's office helicopter. Let me see what this one is here. What's going on here? Oh, this is oh, that's just a private owner. Okay. Crazy, 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 man. Residents near Idaho shooting. It's unspeakable evil. Let's check this out. Just 12 minutes ago, posted this.
In Idaho right now and was an eyewitness to this unfolding. Mark, I really appreciate you joining us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Mark, tell me a little bit more, and I understand what a stressful and surreal experience this must be tonight. Tell me a little bit about where you are and what you've seen today.
Yeah, so my house is about a block away from what we call Canfield Mountain and a very popular hiking trail and ORV trail, which I think the incident is actually up the ORV trail. It's very wooded. It's very dry, which makes the fire concerning since they can't fight it. There's multiple helicopters overhead, and there's snipers team set up every block here watching the hill in case the suspects come this way.
Yeah, it must be a very scary situation as well. We're looking at stills that are showing smoke in the air. We didn't really understand the full extent that, of course, firefighters, once they were fired upon, and we know at least 2 people are dead so far. We still don't have a total number of casualties coming out of that. That they were not able to complete fighting the fire that now appears to be intentionally set. Is a fire still burning as far as you can see right now?
Yep, the fire has not changed. The wind is pretty light, luckily, so but it is blowing towards us. But it hasn't changed in size since probably 2 p.m. our time.
Okay, and what does it look like to you?
It's burning white, so I can tell that they basically haven't been able to touch it. And obviously these are sheriff helicopters overhead, so these are not fire assets at all.
What concerns you the most right now?
The safety of our first responders.
Yeah, Mark, what was going through your mind when you first heard these reports that firefighters were showing up to do their jobs? They were responding to a fire call. This is I grew up in California. We worry about wildfires. They were just responding to try to put out a fire in dry conditions, and there are 2 people who are dead.
Thank you for the membership, Laura.
Unspeakable evil. I don't think I can touch on it more than that.
Yeah. What are you seeing in terms of actual presence? We understand that there are some very brave souls, some law enforcement, who are actively under fire, under sniper fire right now. They don't know if it's one suspect or multiple suspects on that mountain. Can you hear or see any of that activity?
We cannot. We are one ridge basically removed from the fire, and I would expect the suspects are close to the fire, so we can't hear shots at this point. And the teams that are set up look pretty relaxed, so I don't think that we're actually close. We feel pretty safe. My neighbors are out watching the fire. So since they can't fight it, that's just kind of what we're monitoring.
Yeah,
the situation.
I'm glad to hear that. And can you help explain? I mean, you're very familiar with this terrain in this area. We understand that law enforcement is having a tremendously difficult time in neutralizing this suspect or suspects. They've been trying to for some time now, and now the very latest we're hearing is they say this could be a multi-day operation.
Wow.
Can you help us understand why it would be so difficult to neutralize a sniper out there in that area?
It is pretty steep, a lot of switchbacks, and there's a trail system and road system.
Okay, so that was already happening.
System that goes back for 30 to 50.
Oh, they're saying so. There's going to be another press conference. They're saying another press conference at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. (12:30 p.m. Eastern). Okay. So we got 11:30. 2 hours for the next press conference.
50 miles. So there is just a lot of places for them to go and for them to search. So I mean, it's not a great situation.
Yeah. Has anything like this ever happened in your community? Can you tell me a little bit about the community where you live?
It's a very quiet neighborhood. Even now, when people are riding their bikes around, I think just because nobody's used to a situation like this. All their neighbors are pretty close to each other. It's a pretty close-knit community. Right now I'm just concerned that these were our firefighters that were fired upon from the station down the street.
Yeah. How is that striking you tonight, Mark?
9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern.
Are you getting ready to evacuate?
12:30 a.m.
Anything about whether or not you'll need to leave?
Actually, we didn't even get the shelter-in-place order from a source other than a Facebook post, and so we're under that order now. And I'm thinking if it gets dark, then we may be asked to leave. But again, we are one ridge away from where the activity is taking place. So
and I can see the video that you actually sent to us. We can see that white smoke rising over the ridge there. We appreciate you sending that in. And of course, the presence in the sky as well. Mark, I know this is the beginning of a potentially very long night. I'm wishing you all the best. Please continue to stay safe. And I really appreciate you joining us tonight. Mark Lathrop, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
That's weird. Seeing some weird stuff. Update. According to reports, a Black Hawk helicopter is responding to the incident in Idaho. At least one active shooter is still firing at law enforcement. It's according to Sarah Fields with high-powered rifles. County Sheriff Robert Norris said, "We are actively taking fire as we speak." That was from the press conference earlier, I think. I don't know. There's a new press conference coming up at 12:30 Eastern. Late night press conference. Listen a little bit to the radio broadcast. See what's going on there. See any new updates. Oh, I was supposed to play something too. Oops. Did I lose it? Yeah, I forgot I was supposed to play something. Firefighters. Let me see if I can find that video I want to show you guys. Oh, here. I'm going to check this out. It's from about 20 minutes ago. Let's see.
Webb, about 7 o'clock here, West Coast time here in Coeur Alene, and you can see the Canfield Mountain there with the fire still going and getting bigger. No firemen still to the location. I'm on the Kootenai County Fairgrounds as we speak here. So no event going on here today. And right here is the Kootenai County Jail with the sheriff. So that's how close the sheriff's office is to this. We'll keep updating you as the day goes along to see if we're going to find anybody. Dan Bongino says the FBI is on the way. It definitely reminds me of the John Wilkes Booth thing, where you leave a couple of bridges open though, because the trailheads on this side of the mountain are open. And why they're not doing the dragnet up the mountain, Sheriff Norris, I do not know. But I would get as many units and then just close in on a dragnet. But again, maybe there's something that they know that I don't know. Okay, hello everyone. George Webb about
George Webb. Okay, I found there's another video here. When did he post this? An hour ago. This was earlier. We'll keep an eye on George Webb. George Webb. Oh, the helicopter left. There's a private helicopter just flying around the same area. Oh, George Webb's been posting. Okay, let's see. What has George Webb been saying? So that was 20 minutes ago. Fire responder.
Hey, George Webb here in Coeur d'Alene at the shooting.
Coeur d'Alene.
Canfield Mountain behind me. You all have heard the 2 fighter fires being killed. We also have a word. We've talked to a police officer that police officer's been shot as well. Up to 8 additional victims.
What?
Here in this shooting. Rapid fire sportsman rifle. Could be 1 to 3, 4, 5 even. We don't even know how big the group is. You can see, I believe this is the Spokane County coming in from Washington. This is close to the border between Washington and a sniper team from Washington over here. So you can see that there's 2 helicopters lazily circling the fire. They're not able to get, at least the latest police briefing here, because they can't get to the fire because they're still taking fire. So you can hear the police in the background here. It's 6:24. The sheriff said it may be a multi-day event trying to catch these guys. We just went into the back approaches to the switchback to the trail entrances over to Canfield. We didn't see any police there. So if they come over the mountain, they're coming out this way, and there's nothing really to stop them unless they come between here and the high school. So we'll leave it right there. George Webb reporting from one of the worst active shooter incidents involving first responders.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, man. Some dark, twisted shit to do that.
Okay, hello everyone. George Webb here at the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. And everyone is out doing you can see the smoke. It's just right over that hill there. But everybody's out there at the fire. And I think the high school is the right place where we were. But you can see here in the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, nobody's here. Everybody's out there. The active shooter. This is bringing law enforcement from all over the place, from Washington, from Spokane, and all the surrounding areas. Okay, hello everyone.
Closer to the fire, we saw that 7 minutes ago. We're checking on the 9 wounded now.
Okay, George Webb here at Kootenai County Medical Center, and you can see concerned firemen here. You can see the police officers also talking to friends and family here at the emergency room. Up to 9 casualties in addition to the 2 that we saw that died. We saw the hearse come in around the back, the other side. This 11, is a carnage incident. It's certainly the worst involving first responders, fire responders, not police, but fire responders. And we'll be following the story as it develops. Okay, George Webb here at Kootenai County Medical Center. You can see concerned firemen here. You can see the police officers.
One scanner said multiple shooters in camouflage. Really? Need to find that.
Also talking to friends and family here at the emergency room. Up to 9 casualties in addition to the 2 that we saw that died. We saw the hearse come in around the back, the other side.
Maybe listen to the scanner a little bit. Coeur d'Alene. Okay, so let me.
Central, ambulance 12.
I messed up.
EMS 12. Show us out of service in route 13 home. EMS 12 out of service in Acronia.
So they're saying, let me see this post over here. Helicopters with heat-seeking technology are flying over the area trying to locate the shooters or shooters, according to a law enforcement source, but they're having trouble due to a combination of smoke from the wildfire and the presence of hikers and others on the mountain who have been ordered to shelter in place are also being detected by the technology. Dang! Jailbreak attempt? Where? Oh, Lord. What's going on there? Let's see. Listen to the other one. Mm. Too bad this was 30 minutes ago. Mm. 911 call.
714, right now there's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC3's down, BC1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here. This is at the upper parking lot. This is at the upper parking lot. Up on the dirt parking lot. We need law enforcement up here immediately. Law enforcement up here immediately. We need law enforcement to get up here. We could possibly get the two wounded out. I'm pinned down behind Battalion 1's rig. It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
Oh, yeah, I think we heard that. Dang, dang, dang. Let's see.
My name is Robert Norris. I am the
Insane. I wonder if they went dark on the radio. Christy Noam said we're actively monitoring the situation. Prayers for Idaho. Crazy, man. So that fire is helping to hide the perp or the perps. Let me see the helicopter here. We got a helicopter come back. It's back circling, I think. Oh, this is the private helicopter over here circling. Potentially, this could potentially be the motive behind the attack on the firefighters. 24 years ago today, firefighters burned down the Aryan Brotherhood headquarters. Same location as the fire and sniper shots. I don't think it's a coincidence. Let's see, on June 29th, 2001.
EMS 53 Central Ops 2.
Let's look that up and see. Some people saying the area.
Central Zero traffic for Medic 53.
Oh, is that what somebody else was saying in the chat earlier too? I saw somebody saying
Clear at the hospital.
Aryan Inferno.
Medic 53, are you still transporting?
There's a controlled burn at the former Aryan Nation's compound in Hayden Lake, Idaho, conducted by the Northern Lake Fire District as part of a training exercise. The property was formerly owned by Richard Butler, founder of a white supremacist Aryan Nation.
EMS or Medic 53 on Ops 2. Medic 53, EO traffic.
He lost it due to a federal...
Copy 53 at Penny Health, covering for Medic 34, is that correct?
Just minutes away from Coeur d'Alene.
Correct, Medic 32.
Just minutes away from their shooting occurred tonight. Today.
Transport. On Ops 2.
Interesting. Could it be some type of vengeance? I don't know. Payback. Tactical, thank you for the tag. Oh no, 2 people shot up during the Pride celebrations in New York City. What the? Laura Loomer's talking about this situation. She feels like, I feel like we may find out the shooter in Idaho is either going to be an Islamic militant or a skinhead. Oh. So forget about Travis. We have 4,000 votes. 4,000 people said no. 69% say no about Travis Decker. 31% say yes. Could it be a skinhead? Cinema just made a post. He said, I voted for no more wars, but I understand that there sometimes has to be hard decisions made to protect the American people. Therefore, I am calling on President Trump to bunker bust Idaho. Yeah, we can do a poll on that. Aryan or Islamist? Could just be some wacko. Could be one person, but I don't know. That is interesting. The Aryan, what do they call him? The Aryan Fire. On this day, we were burned. So what happened with this Aryan thing? Aryan Inferno. They're around the same area. Oh, where'd the helicopter go? He's doing big circles. But this happened in June 29, same day as today, 2001. Documents a controlled burn at the former Aryan Nation's compound in Hayden Lake, Idaho. The property was owned by Richard Butler, founder of the white supremacist Aryan Nations. He lost it due to a federal bankruptcy sale following a civil rights lawsuit. The location is just minutes away from Coeur d'Alene, where yesterday's sniper ambush mass shooting occurred. Well, today. So it's the same region. Has a documented history of white supremacist activity, heavily tied to Aryan Nations through the late 90s and early 2000s. While there's been no official connection, the proximity and symbolism could be significant. I don't know. Who said shoot it down? Shot it down? Y'all saying shoot her dead? All right, let's see if I can find it. Hold on. What did it say? Where'd you guys hear that from? Let me look. Live update. The Department of Homeland Security is actively monitoring the shooting unfolding in popular hiking location. It's over 25 miles of trails in the park, a local resident, Mark Lothrop, told CNN. There's been a no-fly zone designated over the Canfield Mountain. You tagged me, Arkansas? All right, Arkansas. You notice they changed all the names in the chat? Everybody's at now? Do you guys like that or you don't like it? What's up with that? You tagged me? I don't see your tag. On X? Okay, here we go. Tactical. Oh, neutralized. Woo! Breaking news. Deceased male. All right. This evening, members of the SWAT team located a deceased male in Canfield Mountain. A firearm was found nearby. Additional information will be provided during the scheduled press conference, 12:30 a.m. 12:30 our time, 12:30 a.m. Wow. Dead. So was it self-inflicted? He's just having a bad day. Let's make a little post. Shooter dead. So we'll have a press conference. Thank you, Tactical, for tagging me. I don't know where you tagged me, Arkansas. Thank you, Lindsay. As focus. Thank you, guys. All right. So that's big. He's deceased. That's it. His social media would disappear, right? Yeah, I know. Maybe we should, let's do a little update. Suspect found dead. So yeah, I don't know. With a gun nearby. Deport his family? Yo. Beowulf, what's up, man? That is crazy. All for what? What was the purpose of all this shit? Just to kill and then off yourself? My friend just called me. Her brother, who was the first wave of guys who went up there, and he just got home. He's a wreck. They were pinned down for over an hour, just ducking from the fire. He said there's 2 confirmed dead. Oh, yeah. 2 firefighters who were in those firefighter pickup trucks. They were both killed still in the truck. They were still there. No one can even get to them. Dang. Okay, everybody's talking about the guy's caught. What now? What's his identity? Will they reveal it later?
Sorry, call F3 Henry.
I know that it's
Shooter is dead. Just like that. Incredible, man. Shelter in place lifted. I don't know why the chopper's still circling. Oh my god. What was that?
AC3 ladder 1, engine 3, Charlie, fire alarm 1347 West Riverstone, Ops 3. AC3 ladder 1, engine 3, Charlie, fire alarm 1347 West Riverstone, Ops 3.
Yeah, we have to cut that out. The hell is that?
Unit on Ops 300.
Oh, gee. Yeah, they still got to take care of the fire, too.
Welcome back to the live desk. I'm Katie Bird. This evening I am joined with retired FBI agent Michael Tabman. Michael, thank you for sitting down with us as this breaking news is developing in Idaho. You know, this situation has many moving parts. It had a fire, it had an active shooter. What is the biggest red flag to you in this situation?
Well, the biggest red flag is the fact that this was obviously set up as a ruse to bring in the firefighters and then assault them. And now the biggest threat, of course, is to eliminate the threat itself, which is the shooter or shooters. And you've heard that often when we talk about an active shooter. Before anything else is done, we have to first eliminate the threat. And in this case, as the sheriff pointed out in his news conference, it's most likely going to be killing the people who are firing upon the firefighters and law enforcement.
Michael, thank you so much. What is your message to community members in Kansas City regarding this situation and the rarity of it?
It is a rare situation, especially that with firefighters. You know, sometimes we know, police are often lured into, these type of assaults. We're always wary of that. I was when I was a police officer, albeit many years ago. We don't see it often with firefighters. There's not that sort of animosity in what they do that is created with the public. Kansas City, we have had our own share of tragedies all the years I lived there. Going back to the shooting at the Jewish Center and other events. Take note that the fact these are rare. No place is necessarily safe from this, but it is not a daily occurrence. Kansas City continues to be a very, strong knit community. We'll keep, our prayers and our thoughts of the people who are in danger now, and hope there's a quick resolution. I think now with bringing in the federal authorities, FBI, and some of the other federal law enforcement, we're bringing in tremendous amount of manpower, resources, and knowledge. I think the next step will be the FBI's HRT, hostage rescue team, that will be there, and they're very skilled and trained in taking down, facing active shooters in different environments, such as this one being different than an urban environment or a school or shopping mall. And I think we'll see success. However, we can't be sure there will not be more casualties before that happens.
That was earlier, so. The male is deceased. Male found deceased. I don't understand why people do that. It doesn't make any sense to me, but looks like he offed himself. There is a press conference coming out at 12:30. I guess to announce this person's, I'm assuming self-inflicted, but I don't know. Self-inflicted gunshot wound, neutralized. They're reporting as many as 11 people injured. What a crazy situation today. Oof. I think what we should do is maybe come back for the press conference. Maybe we make a live for it now. May have been shot by cops, maybe. Imagine to say it was Decker. Oh, that would be crazy. Okay, let's see.
Michael, thank you. For those who are unfamiliar with the situation, could you describe what kind of role the FBI will be playing in this investigation?
It's over.
Right now, the FBI is going to be in a support role, though they may leave the role. They're not in charge. It's not like you see on TV where the FBI says we're taking over. This is a local police matter, but the FBI will assist, which is our mission, is to assist law enforcement when asked to do so. So we will provide manpower just in terms of going there actively on the ground to hunt down the shooters. We'll probably supply more air support, because that is where you want to be. Control the air, you control the situation, and that's probably how this thing will be resolved from the air. And we'll bring in, again, the HRT, very talented and skilled team who will be able to operate in this environment. This is probably something the local police are not, equipped to do, not because of any failure on their part, just, small city, small town police department. It just doesn't have the training and the ability to handle this kind of situation on their own. So the FBI, ATF, the marshals will come in and they'll support the local police.
Yeah, 12:30.
Michael,
late.
I know you've had a lot of experience in the past as a part of the FBI. How do you anticipate this playing out?
I think that this person is going to be an extremist, or persons. Still some question as to one or more shooters with a extremist ideology, probably along with a sovereign citizen, posse comitatus type of environment. I think.
Well, let me see the chat. The chat said, "Oh, it's one of the original polls, a 50-50 OG poll." Yeah, something, and it's about 50-50. The Aryans, 52%. And 48% say Islamist. And there's two histories of different stories. 12:30 Eastern is when we're getting the press conference, guys. There's history for both situations, so I don't know. Maybe more of the Aryan Brotherhood, that they burnt the headquarters. Just because they happened to be on the same day. Maybe it had something to do with that. Some type of retribution. Payback. I got an update on my thing too about the suspect. Suspect found dead. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna do a little redirect, and we'll come back at 12:30. I've been very, very busy, super busy all day the last couple days, so that's why I wasn't on earlier. But yeah, we'll come back a little bit later. Check out what the press conference is. Maybe get an official update. Maybe get a identity. Maybe a picture, a name, age. I don't know. All right. See you guys.